You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the God. We are The Breakfast Club. We got a special guest from Housewives of Atlanta. Goes by the name of Peter Thomas.
Yes.
Morning, sir.
What up, OG?
What's going on?
What's the word?
Man, I'm here, man.
Man, Peter, we've been seeing you all over the place in the tabloids.
Yeah, that's what they do, right?
Are you going back for another season of Real Housewives of Atlanta?
I'm actually taping. I got to fly back today to tape.
Got talking to the mic?
Tomorrow. Yeah, I got to fly back today to tape. Today and tomorrow.
Because I know Cynthia said she's not going to do the show anymore after this season.
Yeah, I read that somewhere, but she's been taping for the last 2 months now.
Oh, so that's how you find out things? You have to read it somewhere because you guys aren't communicating with each other?
No, not really. I mean, you probably read the same thing that she read.
Okay, so that's not true.
It's not true, yeah.
Okay, but you guys are separated right now?
Yeah, we haven't been together now in probably around 8-9 months.
What happened? You guys look so, I mean, I haven't watched the show in a long time, but when I did,
I don't watch it.
When it first came on, I did.
I don't.
But you guys look so happy.
Yeah.
You guys look so happy. Everything looks so good, and you was the cool guy. Let's go get beer and alcohol guy.
He's the entrepreneur.
The entrepreneur. Let's make this money guy. And then what the hell
I
happened?
was the cool guy. I'm not cool no more.
He said he hasn't seen it, so he doesn't know if you're still cool.
Don't let him do you like that, Peter. He spoke of your coolness in past tense.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying, I do speak English. Yeah, I was that guy, right? Mm-hmm. I'm still that guy.
Okay.
Just not. We're not together anymore. I mean, like we got married on the show in 2010. Mm-hmm. It's like being in a pressure cooker. Every year, 10 months out of the year. It's not something I think that she could handle or handle well.
So the show,
you mean like fame?
Yeah, I was gonna say the showroom.
Well, I mean, just the pressure of it. It's like it's very demanding. They pay those girls a lot of money, so they have to deliver.
Oh, they got to turn up on camera. Basically.
Yeah, she's not a turn-up type.
Got you.
What about the pressure for you, though? Because I would assume that you're under a microscope. Obviously, we've seen pictures of you out and about. It could
many women everywhere.
And it could be nothing. It could be your employees from the sports bar. It's one time you with your daughter. And
my daughter. Yeah, they said that I was with a jump off. So disrespectful.
Damn.
Yeah. My lawyer down in Miami, they follow her around for 2-3 days with her sister.
So there has to be a lot of pressure for you too, though, not just.
Well, I really don't wear it. It doesn't bother me because I know they never get it right. It's just that there's a lot of ignorance out there on the IG and Facebook and the Twitter, and they say a lot of mean things. So after a while, no one really want to go anywhere with me because they don't want to look like the jump off.
Right. I don't want to be in a picture with Peter Thomas and then they act
exactly.
They said there was one though that you had to apologize for.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I was in a club one night, and I was at my man's club. It's a white club. And one of my customers saw me over there with the guy who owned the club and a bunch of his staff members. And she said something that wasn't nice. Mm-hmm. So I went over to check her.
What'd she say?
Yeah. Well, you're going to act brand new with all your white friends?
Got you.
Customer, I don't even know her like that. So I went over there to stop being disrespectful. And I think kind of grab her like that, but they slowed the video down all the way down. No, I didn't choke.
Okay.
It looked like he was stroking her and rubbing on her.
Yeah, it looks like that, didn't it? It looks like that to me when I was looking at it too.
She's like, I wasn't fondling her, I was insulting her.
Nah, they take that 5-6 seconds and they slow it all the way down and make it look like something else. When I look at it, it looked very provocative.
So that's
also.
why you had to apologize.
Yeah, definitely had to apologize for putting my hands on the person, but I don't really know that person.
Okay.
Was the marriage ever really real?
Oh, our marriage? Yeah, this is not Love and Hip Hop, son.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? This is the Atlanta Housewives. It's real grown up. You know what I'm saying? We actually got married on the show. Cynthia and I know of each other for probably 17, 18 years before we met and got married. Mm-hmm. She's been modeling for a long time, and I did the Def Jam thing for 8-9 years. And
you worked at Def Jam?
I didn't work for them. Work out of their office. Leron and Russell gave me office space. That's where I developed How Can I Be Down, the music conference.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you created it?
Yes, I did.
You don't read your notes, do you?
I don't know. That's why I'm having the conversation. I can ask the questions.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I did that.
That was a big conference. Like a lot of people say they still need those kind of conferences now. That's what Revolt is trying to do with their music conference, I guess.
Yeah, no,
What happened to that conference? It just seemed like it just died.
No, I just stopped doing it.
Why? Why'd you stop?
I wasn't passionate about it. We developed that in Miami back in 92, 93. It went until 97. I took it to Jamaica in 98. Then I went out and executive the Source Awards on UPN for a couple of years.
Wow.
Yeah, then I went back. I had like 7 nightclubs on South Beach. I was real busy.
Charlamagne didn't even know all this. I know he doesn't watch the show, but I also feel like they do show you on the show as having your business, but then it made it seem like Cynthia kind of funded
No, that's what
your
they.
club.
Well, I mean, that's their storyline. That's what they went with. But before I met her, I had 7 nightclubs and 3 restaurants on South Beach.
What happened to all that? What happened to all of it?
I sell them, brother. I got new ones in Charlotte, North Carolina now. I have Sports One, Bar One, and Club One in Charlotte.
'Cause they usually don't let brothers have restaurants and clubs on South Beach. Or on the beach itself? Not really.
Say that again?
They usually don't let brothers have and own clubs on
Well,
South
I think
Beach.
I was the only black owner for like 18 years.
I
I wasn't a promoter. I actually owned my venue.
Right.
And they were extremely successful. I mean, like the cats that's done there now, like Headliner, those guys used to be my street team back in the day.
Really?
Like Phil Lemire, Mike, all of those.
really?
Wow. How long your club's been open in Charlotte?
The new club is like 3 months now. It's probably the hottest club on the East Coast. You got to come and see it.
Yeah, I love
Oh, you know,
Charlotte.
we're
I love
always
the
in
Queen
Charlotte.
City.
Huh?
We're always in Charlotte. I'm
You
actually
gotta
going
come
there
and
for
see
a hair
it.
show.
Yeah, when you come down there, I think I'm the king of Charlotte right now.
All right, just don't take
Yeah,
no
let's
pictures
not
with him.
jump out the window, Pete.
Yeah, I'm not
a lot of
jumping
guys
out.
listening in Charlotte.
Yeah, but they're not on my level, son. I promise you, they're not on my level.
What about Adolph? I think Adolph Shriver and all them.
Adolph kind of fade away.
Yeah.
You had to sit down for a minute.
Yeah, he had to sit down. He did.
Did you try to save your marriage or?
No, I think we grew apart. I mean, when I met Cynthia, she was 40. We got married at 42. She was already on her mission. I'm on mine. And when you're that age, there's a lot of things you don't want to compromise. I mean, she have never been married before, and she has always been her own boss. And now, like, as busy as she is, and I'm in Charlotte doing my thing. I got kids I have to support, and she has to do the same. So after a while, you're not really seeing each other, and you're not really on the same page. You just went in different directions, but we're friends.
You were
How do you
married
think-
before this?
Yeah, I got married when I was 19, 20.
Okay.
How do you think things started to go downhill? Because it felt like finances were kind of like the first thing that you guys really had an issue with.
Yeah, they be killing you. They make it
Yeah.
seem like you broke all the blogs.
Oh,
Make it seem
no,
like you messed up
when I
the
first
money.
got on the show, I was dead up broke.
You were broke.
Yeah,
After
right
all
after
the
the
restaurants
recession.
and clubs and everything.
Man, I opened Cabaret in Atlanta, Uptown Cabaret, in 2008, and then the recession came around with the new black president, the whole 9 yards. By 2009,
You said
we're in
new
the
black
South.
president.
Yeah.
Like
only
we had an
black
old one.
president. Yeah. Well, it was due for everyone. You know what I'm saying? It didn't, that's when everything fell, from the stock market to all banks. Everybody went belly up. So Uptown kind of faded in 2010. I lost probably around $1 million.
Damn.
Yeah, so it took a while everybody watched me rebuild myself on the show when we opened Bar One in Atlanta.
It was so bad you had to live
Yeah.
with your moms, they say?
Excuse me?
They said you had to live with your mom?
No, no.
He said, excuse me?
No, they said they had to live with his parents. I said, geez.
No.
But do you think that was the first initial thing that made your marriage start to have some cracks in it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I've been working for myself all my life. Shiv never really took that leap of faith. She's been, the girl that show up on set and, they sign her card and she get her check in the mail for like 20 years.
But at the same
You're-
time, she was starting her modeling agency also for other.
Well, I mean, yeah, she was. I helped her with that. She have that spirit now. She didn't have it before.
Okay.
You realize she never really loved you if she leave you over money.
Say that again?
You realize she never really loved you if at the first sign of financial trouble, she ready to bail.
I would get that. I would feel that way.
Yeah.
Like she did pack her bags up from New York and moved down to Atlanta to live with me. So it was hot and passionate for a couple of years.
But it also might be were you completely honest about everything as it was happening with finances?
I'm always
'Cause
completely honest about everything. I don't lie about nothing.
now Portia also had accused you of cheating, right?
I don't know that girl. She don't know
She's
anything
on the show
about-
with you.
I don't know her. I mean, she probably
There
be
you go, OG.
she probably be
You
on,
can't say you don't know her.
I don't know her. She probably been on the show with me, but you got to understand, I don't tape with them. So I might see her literally probably once or twice a year in a situation where we're taping. So she doesn't know anything about me as I don't know about her.
Maybe she saw you somewhere and you didn't know it was her, so you
Nah,
was just
not
out there
at all.
doing
We
your
don't
thing.
No, we don't roll in circles like that. I don't.
But you have to admit, it has to be hard to date somebody who, is in the clubs a lot and there's women around all the time. So I'm sure sometimes that leads to some type of insecurities, and then
Well, that's who I was before she met me.
right.
It wasn't something brand new. She
But
knew
it still
all
doesn't
that.
make it easy.
Yeah, but I don't think she doesn't have that insecurity about her. Our demise wasn't based on infidelity. It was more based on we went in different direction.
You grew apart.
Yeah.
You think without the show, maybe you guys could have survived? Your marriage could have survived?
No, I think it's a factor, but the personality didn't change because we're in the show. So we're still the same people.
Because sometimes having everything under a microscope and then all these accusations coming out, all of these posts on Instagram, all of these people putting out pictures, sneaking and taking video of you.
They do that every day in my life.
Right, but that only happens
Yeah.
because of the show.
Yeah, I understand that, but I don't. I think eventually probably we'll definitely grow apart. I don't think Cynthia is the marrying type, to be honest with you. I don't think she's the type of person who want to make joint decision as she goes on in life. She wants to do her own thing.
Now, on the show, did she say she wasn't attracted to your body?
Oh, she said that makes me.
That's some disrespectful ish for your
Yeah,
wife.
What
to
she
say
said, you
that.
got a dad bod?
Yeah.
Damn.
Kind of like this.
You ain't like me. I'm nice and fit over here.
Hey, I don't look fat. I don't look.
You got dad body.
Yeah.
So how did that make you feel? Your wife,
Yeah, whatever.
your wife say that on TV, like
Yeah, that was
happened, y'all?
that was rude. I think she was comparing me with her sister husband, which is professional basketball player. He's been doing that for a long time in Europe. So I didn't look like him. I looked like me.
Is reality TV worth it for an entrepreneur like you? Like, what was the
It
benefit of it?
definitely is because a lot of people don't know really. They see me on the show, but they don't know what is it that I do on the show. They don't know that before the show I had several nightclubs, several restaurants. I did the whole Def Jam thing in Europe for a couple of years. I worked, with those cats for like 8 years right up the block on Varick Street. They don't know all of these things about me. But now there's 20 million people that watch that knows my name.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever project I'm doing, like for instance, Sports One in Charlotte, Bar One in Atlanta, those are extremely successful venues for the fact that fans just, continuously show up. I don't have to advertise. So even with the club opening, I mean, it's packed every night because the fans love the show and they come and support a lot. A lot of them don't like my character, but a lot also do.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of benefit from it. I've always seen it as the glass half full, not half empty.
Did you use the money from the show to fund all that stuff?
The show don't pay me.
The show
the
doesn't
show don't
pay
pay
you.
you?
Oh, you
No.
don't get paid at all?
No, the show don't pay the husband, they pay the wife.
Because I know, like,
Really?
Oh, that's crazy.
I didn't know
that.
you didn't get paid. I just thought you guys didn't get paid as like principal.
No, they don't.
I thought you got something.
No,
Not
they
even a
don't.
stipend per diem?
Well, this year because they needed the storyline, I didn't really want to come back. I think it ended great last year when they followed me to Jamaica and I introduced them to my roots and my family and my culture, and went out on a high note. But they didn't know at the time that Cynthia and I were separated because we really
okay.
didn't put them in our business like that.
Now you got
Yeah.
married to Cynthia, and her mom and her sister really didn't like you. Like they hid the marriage license the day of the marriage. Like how could you?
That's
how could
what.
y'all still be cool if you know that they don't like you?
Well, that's how it unfolded. But I mean, from what I was told by her sister, that's not how it went down. That's the way it came across. It's kind of like something that I don't really want to look back at for the fact that it was supposed to be a beautiful day, and when you're watching it and you don't know what happened, there's a lot of deceitfulness going on, and when you see it like that, you don't really want to look back at that. But I think I made it up when we went to Anguilla and we got we redo our vows in Anguilla. That was beautiful. I'll
Y'all
hold on
stayed
to
at
that.
the Anna Villa.
Yeah, you like that?
Beautiful spot. So I was there last week.
That's what's up.
Yeah, I was there last
That's
week.
what's up, brother.
Have you made some real friends on the show? Would you say people that you still speak to, even if you're not filming, that you could see yourself being cool with?
Yeah, the people behind the cameras. Yeah, I like them. There's some real cool
Have you spoken to Apollo?
I talk to Apollo at least twice a month. Yeah.
Do you send him commissary?
Definitely put money on his books.
Word.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, that's my man. I like
What about
Apollo.
Nene?
I don't see her as often. She did a stand-up in Charlotte, and, with Grace. Well, she used me as part of the show, and then she gave me the after party, so that was cool. But I don't see Nene that often. I don't think I've seen Nene 3 times in 4 years.
Yeah, I don't know why I thought you were smashing Nene.
I
don't watch the show.
I don't know why you would think that either.
I thought Pete was Nene's guy.
No,
Who's
not
Nene's
at
guy?
all. Greg.
Greg.
Yeah.
Greg.
Greg Leaks. So when Cynthia doesn't get along with somebody, does that mean automatically that you should not really mess with that person either? Like when her and Nene fell out?
That's loyalty, yeah. I think I don't think Cynthia did anything wrong to her. I think her and I got into a spat on the show. She didn't like it. You know what I'm saying? So she took it and ran with it. So we didn't really talk for 2 years.
Wow.
Yeah,
Now you're from Brooklyn, right?
all day long.
What part of Brooklyn?
Flatbush.
Now,
That's where I'm from.
they
Oh, you
said-
shot somebody before then?
Yeah, I have.
Absolutely.
Say allegedly.
Why
Say
would you
allegedly
say
just in
that?
case.
Everybody from Brooklyn, Flatbush, then shot at least one person.
Yeah,
I'm
at
from
least one
Flatbush. I ain't
person.
shoot nobody.
Yeah, did you shoot somebody?
No,
back?
never.
Now they said that you actually spoke to Big right before he died
I was with Big the night he died. Yeah.
In L.A.
in L.A.
Yeah,
Vibe magazine party.
exactly. We was
They
there.
said you were a promoter. You were a concert promoter. You were promoting back then or no?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the clubs in South Beach, every time he come to Miami, he would come to Miami because I bring him there. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he was a real cool kid. I like him.
Hey.
So what's next for Peter?
I'm going to do the How Can I Be Down Southeast Conference next year in Charlotte.
Oh,
That's
wow.
going to be
Bring it
big
back.
because I don't think we have anything like that. I mean, back in the days, we
In
used
Charlotte.
to
You're
have.
going to do it in Charlotte.
Yeah, definitely. We used to have Jack the Rapper back in the day.
Yep.
We used to have
Impact.
Impact, the BRE. We used to have all of that to go to, right? Now we just go to suburb by Southwest.
Well, you got the Revolt. You got Revolt Music Conference. They doing it in Miami every year.
Yeah, no. I was talking to Andre Rell and Keith Clinsdale and them around 4 years ago at Russell House out in L.A. when they came up with that. And I was supposed to be a part of that, but
They boxed you
Oh,
out.
they went left on me.
so they
man.
picked your brain,
Yeah.
got all your
You
ideas.
had to do it.
Well, they didn't have to pick it. They all of them used to come to How Can I Be Down?
Yeah,
back in
yeah,
the-
yeah.
The last one of them. So,
Remember
I
the
mean,
Mix Show
that's all
Power
went
Summit
out.
too? That was,
Yeah, definitely. That's a spinoff.
That was a good one.
Yeah, it's
So
a
why-
spinoff from How Can I Be Down.
Wonder why they went left on you. I would want your expertise.
What
That
was
probably
with the money?
That probably was with I don't think Puff need that. I mean I think the conference was great grassroots to get the channel going.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because it was an empty space for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Still kind of empty.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Because when I go to the Revolt Music Conference, it's centered at the Fountain Blue. How Can I Be Down? Blanket all of South Beach. When we did it, every hotel was sold out. I mean, we had like cat from the barbershop in Brooklyn on South Beach. You know what I'm saying? We introduced everybody. We introduced blackness to South Beach on a powerful level.
Yeah, it was because it used to be
Yeah.
Virginia Beach and then it moved to South Beach.
Yeah.
They're not doing it at Fountain Blue this year, though. They're doing it, I think, at the Eden Rock this year.
Oh, they are? I didn't even know
Moved
that.
this year.
But he's saying that they
Eden
would-
Rock and
they
Fountain
they
Blue
would do
been
things
having
all
beef.
through Miami.
Yeah, well, every hotel was sold out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, every label participate. I went 2 years ago. I didn't really feel it like that. It was just center at the Fountain Blue.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I don't think
When I
labels-
was on Ocean Drive, I didn't feel it at all either. It's like if.
But
our
labels don't
conference
spend
was-
money like they used to also.
Not at all.
Well, I mean, but they still need to. The only thing that's different in the music industry is that mechanical sales is gone, but everything else is still the same.
Right.
And that's
They're
how they
figuring
used
out other
to.
ways to make money through
Yeah.
streaming.
Yeah.
And
Well, mechanical sales used to be a big part of it. Now that they're
Well,
trying
that's
to
how
figure
they
out
sign
streaming.
artists and pay them. 16 cents on the dollar, 12 cents on the dollar, based on wholesale is $7. That's how they used to sign everyone. You know what I'm saying? They can't really do that anymore
Nah,
because
not at all.
nobody's buying a record like that.
right.
So what exactly did you used to do in the music industry? Like, were you like a
Just
producer?
like
or-
a consultant, consult marketing for different companies. I work with Sony. I work with Atlantic.
But what got you in that position? Like,
Just
Hustling?
Hustling. I'm a hustler, without a doubt.
And you dated Pepper too, right? From Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, we dated for a while, like 20 years ago.
So news, Envy.
He's like, I don't remember what she looked like naked. You asking me about her?
You're right. I don't. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Are you dating
remember.
anybody now?
I know I'm not. No.
What about Cynthia? Do you guys communicate? Like, does she have to tell you? So I've moved on.
Cynthia's 49 years old. She's a grown woman. She don't have to.
I mean, you guys are still married, though.
Yeah, we are, but we communicate on a respectful level at all times.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I would always like that woman and love that woman at the same time too.
So she's filed for divorce now. That's gonna.
We haven't done that yet, but that's the direction we're going.
It's gonna be on the show. You
hold
know
it
that.
up. You know.
What?
It's gonna be
It's
on the
been
show.
because
It's gonna be on the show. No, it's not everything we give them.
Y'all not gonna give them that?
Well, I mean, they're gonna see that, but we're not the ratchet type. You know what I'm saying? We're grown people with kids, and we're responsible. You know what I'm saying? This is definitely not love and hip hop. We don't do things like that. I mean, like people get together later on in life, it don't work out. You know what I'm saying? And they could still remain friends and support each other. That's what we do.
Do you feel like you were portrayed accurately if people watch the show?
Never,
really who
never
you are?
that. Well, they don't give black men that kind of platform.
That Jamaican came
portray
out
us.
heavy just now. Never
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Never
You know what
that.
I'm saying? They don't give us that kind of platform to portray us in a positive light. They never do. You know what I'm saying? You have to, like, the PR department is not, calling me up and say, oh, we got to fix Peter. That's not who he is. We got to make the world know who he is. They don't care about that.
But they did. You say in the last episode, go to Jamaica and get to see your roots, and you did appreciate.
That was yeah. But
At least they give you a little something.
They always give me a little something because
something.
I demand it.
Right.
You can't really tell me about the rest of the guys on the show. I mean, I don't even know what some of them do. You know what I'm saying? Apollo, he, unfortunately is where he is now because no one really helped him when he came out. You know what I'm saying? I don't think his wife helped him either. I mean, those girls make a lot of money. I think they're
they
probably
do
the
pretty
highest
good.
paying reality stars out there outside of the Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to marry someone and you know that they just came home from doing 6 years, and you have it like that and you choose that person, then you should, work together to build that person.
Right.
I don't think she did a good
So
job
he doesn't
with
have
that.
to resort to doing other things.
And he went back to what he knew, unfortunately, and he's doing another 6 years.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure on these guys to try to keep up. I walk through the world on a daily basis as Peter Thomas. I don't try to wear that reality thing on my sleeve at all.
Right.
You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? I've been doing clubs for since 1986.
But we got to check out the club in Charlotte.
Oh, without a
Absolutely.
doubt. Everybody's coming down for the All-Star, right? We got to make sure we do something.
Yep, February.
Yeah, that's
And
going to be
then
big.
CIAA,
Right behind it,
Yeah.
yeah. Now, Charlotte's getting hot right now.
Yeah, Charlotte's
You know what I'm
hot.
saying?
They've been saying that for about 20 years, though. I love
Yeah.
Charlotte.
Yeah,
Charlotte supposed to be the
said
next Atlanta for 20
yeah,
years.
the next
Can
big.
I don't know why they keep on comparing it to Atlanta because it's not. Like Charlotte is a more of a corporate city.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's the second largest banking district outside of Wall Street.
Absolutely. Bank of America.
So Bank of America, Wells Fargo, BB&T, and Duke Energy's based there. So
I have a lot of friends who just moved to
Yeah.
Charlotte recently.
Yeah, it's a better
estate's good in
it's a
Charlotte,
better
too.
living there, I
Yeah.
believe. You know what I'm saying? They're getting more for
More
their
for your money.
You know what I'm saying? And if you go to Charlotte now and look at uptown Charlotte, you probably see around 15 cranes all over the city, just buildings going up left and right. So when I went there 4 years ago and looked at it, I'm like, wow, this is 3 hours up from Atlanta.
Gotta do this.
This is dope. I couldn't even find a decent place to go to that looked like it's like I was in 2015.
It's a very clean city.
2014. Yeah.
It's a very clean city.
so-
And you're right, it's corporate. See, with Atlanta, you got all that rap money and entertainment money and
yeah,
athletic
all that.
money. You got the athletic money in Charlotte, but not
Yeah,
the
you do.
entertainment money.
Not like that,
Not
but
like
I think
Atlanta.
it's
Not
going to
like
be
Atlanta.
there. Yeah, because you have an NFL team, you have an NBA team, you got a minor league baseball team, you got a hockey team, and it's a smaller city. You're talking about 6 million people versus 1.5 million people. So the opportunities are there.
The real estate is real good in Charlotte.
Love
You
Charlotte.
were looking for something there,
Definitely.
weren't you? Emma?
Yeah, I found something too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
It's only an hour and 20 minutes on a flight from New York City.
Yes, sir.
They're closing the Hermes store out there too, which is breaking my heart. Though.
Oh, they are?
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I was supposed to say that, but they are. But it's breaking my heart.
Yeah, I was in the South Park Mall last week. It was open.
Yeah,
I didn't know they were
January
closing.
They're closing it.
Wow.
Anyway, well, we appreciate you for joining us.
Yeah, I felt
Clearing
like
some
there
things
was.
up.
Yeah, I felt like there
Thank
was some things you just wanted to get off your chest in a way to come up here and.
Yeah,
talk
I
about.
mean, it's the way we're looked at. You know what I'm saying? They always, project certain things, and they don't really let people know that it's, when you think about a husband on the Atlanta Housewife it's probably the only black franchise outside of Potomac now.
Right.
You
I
don't
like the
really.
Potomac one.
Yeah, you don't really see anything positive about the black men on the show. All they project is negative, 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 and there's no PR department embracing themselves to work with us. So I just want people to know that I'm not in jail like Apollo, and Cordell was a real cool guy, and that's my dude. We still.
Oh, they dragged Cordell.
Yeah, they dragged him.
You don't think he's gay, huh?
I'm not a part of his life like that, but I don't get that energy when I'm around him. You know what I'm
Right, 'cause
saying?
that
I
was
get
the
a
big-
man when I'm
that
around
was the
him.
big rumor.
Yeah, and I love the fact how he raised his son. You know what I'm saying? You have full custody of his son, and he's real cool. I don't get that gay vibe at all.
Okay.
And when I talk to him, I don't. Nah, he always.
He never like put
completely
his hand on
deny
your
that.
leg and try to.
No,
Okay.
Too Jamaican for that. Would not go
Man,
there.
when you in Atlanta, man, you can't have your gator on all the time because it'll always go off.
Yeah, well, I think that's where all black men that's gay go to celebrate gayness.
Yeah.
Is in Atlanta. I don't see them really doing that in a lot of different cities. As a matter of fact, in Charlotte, I really don't see that at all, to be honest with you.
And that's the Queen City.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Queen City. You know a little bit about Charlotte. Though.
I'm from down there. I'm
Yeah,
from
that's
South
what's up.
Carolina.
Oh, that's what's up. That's where you from? South Carolina?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where in South Carolina?
You're not gonna know
Born
it.
in Charleston, raised in Moncks Corner. That's my hometown.
Yeah.
And I lived in Columbia for like
That's
7, 8
what's
years.
up.
Columbia's an hour, 20 minutes from Charlotte.
Yeah.
Always
I know.
was in Charlotte.
That's what's up. You got the edge about you. That's
That
different.
Monk's Corner edge.
That is definitely different. That's definitely different.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that.
All right. Well, I'm glad you cleared it up because I saw you venting on social media too. And,
Yeah, I like to cuss people out when they say the wrong thing.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Woo.
Can't help it. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate you.
All right.
Well, it's Peter Thomas. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.
If superior hair extensions, clip-ins, and tape-ins are an absolute must, you have to get the #1 rated hair extensions in the world. Her Imports is 100% certified real virgin human hair and trusted by celebrity stylists worldwide. Celebrities swear by our products, and now you can too. We now offer financing for our products at herimports.com for a limited time, or go into one of our convenient locations in your city. We offer 100% Indian temple bundles that will have you looking flawless for years. Visit us online right now at herimports.com.
The Breakfast Club. Every weekday morning. Tune in